Okay, now here's a simple little ditty that I think is really good. This is out of the Transactions for the Idaho Lodge of Research, June 1993. It's on page 8 on universal symbols. On the square and compasses, now they are universally the symbol of a master mason of Freemasonry is how we understand these symbols. 1,000 devoted symbolists have read as many meaning in both of these tools as a mason has. And that's true. And these really do stretch into the multiple meanings. They're an awesome group of symbols. Both symbols are much older than Freemasonry. Oh, heavens, yes. These things date back thousands of years before Christ, believe it or not. I mean, they're even depicted on an ancient astrological Chinese symbol. It's really quite interesting. Oh, he mentions this: Chinese manuscripts give them a Masonic significance, although there was no Freemasonry in that country 2,000 years ago. No symbols in Freemasonry offer so many possible interpretations, but many symbols may be different to different people. The meanings of symbols don't retain the same significance or the same meaning in any way. For me, that's the beauty of studying the symbols. And there are several Masonic writers, man. I mean, Harry Carr and Anderson, Criminy Mackey, Pike, all of them. Tressner, De Hoyos, Morris, all of these really good Masonic scholars are saying the importance of symbols is for the individual. What you put into it is what you'll get out of it. And if it means something to you peculiarly, maybe because of the profession you're in, for instance, and it doesn't mean the same thing for another brother Mason, no problem. If it has meaning for you, significance that helps you live a more upright, moral, better life, then good. Go with it. That's the essence of studying your symbolism. There is no orthodoxy in Masonry in which we all have to adhere to a specific meaning. No, that's not the theme at all. Well, they're almost all embracing, though, this particular aspect of the symbolism of the square and compasses. Square is the symbol of the master of the lodge. Why? Because it implies rectitude. Now, rectitude not only of life, but conduct, of morality, truthfulness, honesty. So universal is the knowledge of its meaning that the word has percolated into all strata of society. The square man is the honest man. To act on the square is to act honestly. In Freemasonry, to part upon the square has its own symbolism. Well, the square is a tool made of two members. Now, this is interesting, too. It's a tool made of two members pointing in different directions. If you've seen a square, you understand that. Those directions are right with each other. They are at a right angle. Oh, I can hear my puppy. Hang on, puppy. Quiet. They are a right angle, so-called because of their 90-degree angle. So-called because this angle is the only correct angle for stones which are to build a perpendicular and stable wall. So the idea of being the symbol of the master, I would propose, he doesn't, but I would propose this, is the master works with a straight, solid, perpendicular lodge of brethren. See how you can apply this to a personal morality. And this was done throughout all ages in antiquity. Plato was huge on this, on symbols. Socrates and all the ancient Greeks were huge on this, as the Egyptians, as the Hebrews were. Oh, the Hebrews were huge. Well, when brethren part upon the square, they leave each other in different directions, but in the direction of which, if their destinations are unknown, their righteousness is known. And so we part on the square. We all go off in different directions, but we all have the same kind of righteousness. Very interesting. Brethren, part in the full knowledge that their courses, until they meet again, will be according to the angle of the square. True, accurate, so on and so forth. Honorable. Very good. The compasses are a symbol of restraint. When you open the legs of a compass and you stick the one point down and then you whirl the square, you cut the circle, you whirl a circle. There's a certain size of circle that it will cut, and that's it. That's the extent of the compass. The idea is the principal tenets of the order of skill and knowledge. Since without their use a square cannot be erected, and without a square a temple cannot be built. The philosopher Burke said, "Men of intemperate passions cannot be free, because passions forge their fetters." Isn't that interesting? You want true freedom? Show control. You want proof? Go visit someone in jail. See, they didn't act on the square within the law, and it cost them their freedom. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. It is the spiritual compasses that circumscribe these passions. That's out of the Pocket Encyclopedia of Masonic Symbols. It's page 8 in the Idaho Lodge of Research. I really like several of their articles. I've got dozens and dozens of copies of these. So this theme, and there's a lot more lessons to them also that I will also share. When I begin showing you sacred geometric principles, because geometry is, of course, one aspect of our letter G, but the importance of geometry is serious in Freemasonry, and I have some wonderful geometry I'm going to share with you and show you why we emphasize this interesting logical science. It's a cool concept. So there's the compasses in the square. I hope I got you squared away, and I hope I've encircled you with a band of knowledge. How's that for imagery and verbal communication? Yeah, whatever. Quit being fancy. All right. Thanks for watching. I will have a lot more coming up. It's to be quite frank with you, there's just so much. This last week I've gone through just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pages. And every book I open on Freemasonry, I've got all kinds of little paper deals that I tear up and little pieces of paper that I mark what section of the book I want to go to and on. There's just thousands of subjects. It's so fun to learn about. And I'm looking forward to sharing it with you. So, in the meantime, part on the square and circumscribe your passions.